got this. So, thank you so much for coming. We don't have Grant Morrison this year. Grant Morrison's not at the convention. He said because nothing gets top last year. And it's true. He's actually totally right. Nothing gets top last year so far. But, so, you guys having a good con? So the next project me and Mikey are working on is actually this Twilight MCR crossover / fiction. And that's what we're working on.
Remember when that guy mistook you for Robert Pattinson?
It was awesome.
That was terrible.
About 7 times so far this month, somebody's gone.
Thanks,
so guys,
everybody.
Twilight.
We got into a lot of parties. Well, so Killjoys is the new thing. The next Umbrella Academy series is going to be called Hotel Oblivion.
Yes.
And it's going to be a little while before we get going on it because these guys are really busy with their other jobs. But the fabulous true lives of the Killjoys.
The True
Lives is a
fabulous Killjoys. It's I always do that. You see, I'm looking at the screen myself. I do that all the time. Any show that you've seen us at and they have screens like that, what I'm really doing is watching myself. I've done it every time. Yeah. So I'm really excited, obviously, about both of these books. Hotel Oblivion, I'm especially excited for because, well, they're two totally different books, obviously, but Hotel Oblivion, I think, is now the point where we can really start to have a lot more fun with Umbrella Academy and really get weird.
It's going to get weirder and weirder. The reasons for doing the book in the first place, we finally got the room to do it. And can I tell them the one basic thing about what Hotel is? Batman's villains all get thrown into Arkham Asylum. And Hargreaves came up with a much, much better idea for what to do with the Umbrella Academy's villains. So we're going to find out a lot about the rogues gallery of people that the Umbrella Academy have fought over the years.
Yeah, because, these guys, they're kind of superheroes, but, you've never really seen any of their villains. You've seen, like, Dr. Terminal, Murder Magician.
In little bits and pieces.
Little bits. So now we're going to actually see what they were doing for, like, a good 10 years of their life. So that's really cool. And you also get to see how extra sadistic Hargreaves was, just not only to his kids, but to everyone, even the villains. So that's exciting. One of the things I love about Umbrella is, like, by the end, I think it's not even going to resemble what it was when it first started. And that's really exciting. This is another step. And then as soon as we hit the 4th graphic novel, we're really halfway through the whole thing. So that's kind of, it's kind of sad in a way. And then Killjoys is, it's something that's really personal. I want to say in the weirdest possible way, it's semi-autobiographical, but nothing in it happened to me. It was written, but it was written back when we were touring in the beginning. One of our friend that helped us sell merch for us at the shows was a guy named Sean Simon, and we would just sit in this van and just have this crazy adventure, and just the only thing I could liken it to is eating raw life. That's what it was like in the beginning. We're just sleeping on glass, and it's just so fun and awesome. You're in these wild places, and you're in the desert, and you're seeing playgrounds, and you're likening them to like graveyards, because that's where your childhood dies. And just crazy stuff like that. So all these really crazy notions are just bottled up in this comic about a guy who just wants his Ramones records back. The whole story. So I'm very excited. And as some of you are under 18, I do hope you could buy it because it will be a mature reader's title. But I don't think anybody cares about that anymore, right? It's pretty easy, right? All right, so there'll be no problems there. So
we're going to open up for Q&A in a minute. I think there's a mic right there. It looks like it's pointed at the ground. I don't see a mic over here, but you use your voice as big or go to the mic. But we'll start Q&A in just a second. There was one thing about Umbrella. There was one thing that we wanted to do in Dallas that we didn't get to do. There was this thing, there's so much going on in that book at all times. There's so many things that kind of fall through the cracks because there's a million ideas starting out and you only get 120 odd pages to do it in. So there was this one bit that I loved that Gerard told me about early on that just wound up being fit in the book. How many people read Dallas?
Yeah!
Cool. Everybody else?
That's like 14 of you.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, the rest of you won't understand this at all, but this is for that 14. At the end of the book, you find out that the reason that the time agents sent the Umbrella Academy back in time to kill Kennedy, spoiler for everybody else, the reason they sent them back in time was to prevent these weapons from falling into the hands of Hargreaves, their horrible, horrible foster father. And there was supposed to be a bit in there when the time agent guy explains it to the Umbrella Academy, when they're like, why didn't you just have us go back in time and kill Hargreaves? And the time agent guy, the fish in the vault, the bottle, was going to say, what makes you think you guys could have killed Hargreaves? Which would have been sort of the first hint of what a total badass Hargreaves is, which you'll see more of.
Finally gonna get to see, what kind of mean badass he was. One of the things, I'm excited to have Mikey up here too.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah. Everybody has been, actually Scott's been trying to get Mikey to do a book for the last 2 Comic-Cons. Yeah. So I'm thinking now that you're up here, you have to do the book. Yeah, now I have to do it. So hopefully.
So let's just announce it right now.
Let's just announce
What's
it.
it called?
Oh, I don't know. It's called.
It's called Everybody's.
I don't even know. I have nothing clever. Fucking Iron Man. Not Iron Man. It's called fucking Iron Man.
Sorry. Alright, let's do Q&A.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
so
do it.
right up there.
Oh,
she popped out.
I don't need to see it. Oh, Mike's on.
She doesn't have a mic.
I have to yell.
This question is for Gerard. In the Umbrella Academy, which was your favorite character to create, and which one did you have the most fun creating?
I like them all for different reasons, obviously, but I have a soft spot for Seance, because he's very German, and we haven't even gotten to see him do his interpretive dance yet, which is the character's true dream. And I think he mentions it in Apocalypse Week, but I got the feeling very soon we're going to get to see some of that.
As it makes less and less sense.
As it makes less and less sense. So, to me, Vanya is like, as a white violin, I just love the design of that. I find it to be so elegant, and I just kind of love her. I mean, they're all great, you know.
But like anytime he gets asked that question, he winds up saying something different. Because when we first talked about it before the book was out, it was always Space Boy, and it just keeps.
Yeah, it was. This is so weird.
Yeah. And he just got weirder when Bob grew.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, my Space Boy is way different than Bob's. I miss Bob. I got so excited when I saw Gabriel. Yeah, it was just nuts.
It was crazy.
I wish he was here.
Thank you. My favorite character is the white violin, and I was just going to ask you, what gave you the idea to turn a girl into a violin, or why a violin or something?
Yeah, no, that's a really deep question, actually. If you really think about it, why did you turn a girl into a violin?
Is it Man Ray?
I guess a little bit Man Ray, the old classic Man Ray photo. Yeah.
It's as much about turning a violin.
I mean, turning a woman into an instrument that you play. That's kind of messed up. Yeah, there's something really deep there if you have a psychiatrist evaluate that. Well, I mean, she was an instrument for the bad guy. I mean, she was an instrument in destroying the world. So I guess she had to really represent that. It had to be much more than just the orchestra. They always felt that they needed their first violin, and she needed to really embody that. So that's her deal.